Hello and welcome here to Tokyo CB and welcome back to the channel for yet another video here today, and we're going to be looking at the new Camp Nou. We're going to be deciding whether it's a good idea and whether it needs to be done. My personal opinion is that it does need to be done, which I will be explaining in the video by going through the different benefits and looking at the plans in a lot more detail. They were presented at the Camp Nou with the players, the president and the coaches, and we've now seen the final plans for the Camp Nou, with work expected to start in the 2017-18 season, so not this summer but next summer most likely, and we're going to be having a look at exactly what's going to be taking place and why this is a necessary move. So the first thing to note, and the first thing that a lot of people are talking about given our financial position as well, is the cost of this. Espai Barça will cost around 600 million euros. Now that is a lot of money, obviously that's a lot of money indeed, but what it is, it's not just about the Camp Nou, it's not just about renovating the stadium, this is about redeveloping and redefining and modernising the entire area that surrounds it. So you've not just got the Camp Nou, you've got the mini Estadio, the Barça B stadium, you've got Palau Blaugrana, the basketball stadium, you've got the club offices there, you've got the surrounding area by means of restaurants and cafes, the superstore, you've got everything there, and they're going to be redesigning the whole thing and redeveloping it and giving it a new look, and that's what's needed. It really is needed, because if you go there to the Camp Nou, and it's an incredible place, it really is. When you go there, the hairs on the back of your neck start to stand up, because just being in that city, in that area where they live and they breathe football, it's an incredible experience, because you're surrounded by an absolutely monumental stadium, the Camp Nou, and it just gives you the chills to look at it and breathe at it and just be there in the stadium. It is an incredible sight, and that's why I'm glad that we're keeping it there, that we're renovating the stadium as opposed to knocking it down and moving to a different site. We're keeping that heritage. We're keeping that history, and that's so important, because the Camp Nou has given us so many memorable evenings. We've given us so many fantastic successes there, so it's so important that we're keeping that there and keeping our history, because that's a massive thing in the history of our club. So that's a good thing. I think what it needs to be done, though, it does need to be modernised, because this was built in 1957, and since then it's been renovated slightly, but it's never gone through anything like this. It's never been really upgraded and revolutionised in terms of the technology, and that's what needs to be done. If you look at the Allianz Arena, that's something that people say is a futuristic stadium. Well, the new Camp Nou is going to take that to an entirely different level. We're going to be talking about some of the things now which are going to be renovated, which are going to be added to it, and we're going to be taking a look at exactly why this is necessary and what good this will do for us. So the first thing you want to talk about is the roof, and that is an absolutely massive point, the roof, because a lot of stadiums don't have a roof, but if you've got 98,000 fans, and of course the capacity is going to be increased, which I'm going to come on to a little bit later, but if you've got 98,000 fans or an increased capacity and you haven't got a roof, it is absolute chaos, because I heard about 60% of the fans in that stadium go there, and if it's raining, they get wet. Now, I've never sat on the third tier. I've always gone with the second tier and the first tier whenever I've gone. But I can imagine on the third tier that you get absolutely soaked. And you can understand why, say, a Copa del Rey game on a Wednesday night against a team maybe in the Segunda Division or a team like at the bottom of the La Liga, you can understand why, if it's a rainy evening, people just don't go. And it's not because they don't want to go and watch the club. It's because they're thinking, do I want to sit there for 90 minutes and get soaked? We're going to win the game anyway, probably. So is it really any point? And that's why you see sort of capacities of 40,000, 50,000 at Copa del Rey matches and lower league matches, because quite frankly, if people are going to get wet, if the experience isn't going to be pleasant for them, they're just not going to turn up. They'd rather just watch it on the telly and go to the next game. And that's why people say, oh, well, we're increasing the capacity to 105,000. Why are we doing that when we can't fill the original stadium? Well, the reason is because this stadium can give so much to the people, and I think we haven't actually given the members and the people who go there enough, because I think getting a roof on there, making sure that everybody in that stadium is going to stay dry, is a massive step forward, because people then will go, they can make an occasion of it, there's going to be more in the surrounding area to make more of a day experience, there's going to be things inside the stadium, because that's another thing, people who haven't been there won't actually realise that when you go inside the Camp Nou and away from the field, inside of the Camp Nou is literally like being back in the 1957. It really is, because there's nothing. They haven't renovated it, nothing. It's stone in there. Most of the thing is stone. There's a few little sort of bars where you can buy drinks and snacks, but there's hardly any of those spread around the stadium. You'd expect to go in there and be surrounded by this modern stadium that matches sort of the outside and the pitch, but it really isn't. You go in there, it's cold, it's dark, and for some reason they haven't renovated it in all this time. So for that matter, it does need doing. They do need to make sure that the inside of the stadium is somewhere that fans want to be in half-time, where they want to go to the game and they know that at half-time and at full-time before kick-off, they can go in there, they can stay dry, they can stay warm, because I think a lot of people are under the illusion that it's always very sunny in Barcelona, the weather's always great. That's really not the case. A lot of the times that I've gone there, there's probably been more cold and more wet than more sunny. So certainly it is something that needs to be looked at. And also with the roof, I think this is one of the biggest points actually. The roof is one of the biggest advantages, because I really hope that it helps the atmosphere, because that's one of the problems that I have with the Camp Nou at the moment. I don't think, for a club of our size and the club of our prestige, I don't think our atmosphere inside the stadium is good enough. I look at Atletico Madrid, I look at them, and I say, why can't we be like that? Why can't we, every single person at the stadium, why are they not getting behind the team? Now, I understand that it's because we're more global, so you will get more visitors, you'll get more spectators there, just to sort of take in the site and not necessarily support the club, but at the same time, that atmosphere could be a lot better. Now, I'm really hoping that the roof helps to keep that in and helps to increase the noise level, because at the moment the Camp Nou is very, very open. There's no roof, of course, there's no enclosed areas, so a lot of the sound just sort of fades away. Now, I hope the roof can really enclose that and make it more of a fortress, because, you know, we're outstanding at home as we are, but imagine the atmosphere was cranked up even more, and we saw how much the atmosphere can help the players in the games like the Atletico Madrid game at home in the Champions League. The crowd were outstanding in that second half. We came back to win the game, and it could be a real help for us, and I think the roof can certainly go a long way towards doing that. Another really interesting thing for those of you who, like, you know, myself, I watch a lot of the games on television, they're actually going to improve the camera level. Now, what they're going to do is, at the moment, that it's sort of raised up. Now, they're going to bring that camera level down so that it's actually positioned which is closer to the pitch and is better for broadcasting quality. I think that's actually quite a big thing, because whenever I watch Barca, sometimes, like, you know, you start looking at a game and you think, the camera's absolutely miles away. You can't actually see the details. You can't really see the fantastic football from all that distance away. And at times it does seem like it's an eternity away, the camera. So I think that's really important, actually. They're going to be improving the position of the camera so you can clearly see exactly what's going on the TV. And that's really important, I think. They're going to be improving the Camp Nou experience. They're going to be improving the museum. They're going to be making it bigger. I hope that we've got more trophies to go in there, certainly. But if you haven't been to the Camp Nou experience, that's another thing that draws a lot of people in. I've gone there, and the museum itself is absolutely huge. It's massive. So if they're going to be making that even bigger, that's again going to be something else that's going to draw people in. They're going to get revenue from people going on the tour and doing that. Exactly the same thing is going to be happening with the Superstore, which is 3 stories high. The Superstore, it's one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, I would say. There's so much there for you to choose from. Again, that's going to improve revenue. There's going to be the new team benches on the sidelines. They're going to be improving those. They're going to be improving the presidential box. They're going to be lowering the balcony slightly. And just a few things. They're going to be having 4 scoreboards. And the one thing I did notice about the scoreboards, you go there and there's 2 very large scoreboards at either end. But there's not actually that much on them. They don't get you any replays. They don't show you any animations. Even with the lineup, it's simply just the name and the number. And I think they could do a lot more with that. They could sort of give the fans more of an insight, give them more of an idea of what's happening in the game. And I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do with those scoreboards. And they're going to be also going to be doing something with a pitch. They're going to be installing a new hybrid grass system, which will improve the natural ventilation, which is very, very important for us, that we have a good pitch, because that is so vital for the way that we play. I notice when you go there, their sprinklers are on before kick-off. It's so technically done that they're absolutely spot on with that pitch. So if we're going to improve that even further, that's a really good thing. So basically, the main points that we're going to be looking at here for the new proposal of the Camp Nou is we're going to be increasing the capacity. The capacity is going to raise to 105 spectators. Now, as we said, the capacity hopefully will continue to get filled. We're going to have that new roof. We're going to have that new system in there. So hopefully people come to the games, people try and fill that stadium. We've got 144,000 members. So I'd hope that we can continue to get more and more people inside the Camp Nou. Of course, as well, one of the most important things to go with that is the fact that there's going to be more improved facilities inside and outside the stadium. Inside the stadium, you're going to have bars, you're going to have a better area to stand in before kickoff, at half-time, and outside the stadium as well, they can do so much there. They're going to improve the surrounding area, again with bars and restaurants and places that people can go and enjoy being in before the game starts. Another massive thing is they're going to be improving the facilities in terms of people who are disabled or have hearing problems or visual problems. They're going to be improving the way they can watch the game. At the moment, there is 8,300 people to one elevator. Only one elevator can be used per 8,300 spectators. For those who are elderly or may not get around as easy, that is ridiculous. So they're going to be improving that. And they're actually going to be improving as well the fact that there's no restaurant at the Camp Nou with pitch views at the moment for VIPs and things like that. They're going to be improving that. And I think as well, the one thing that we don't really know about, but they're going to be improving the media area. At the moment, about 350 media personnel can fit in the media box. Now, in the Camp Nou experience, you actually go up to the media area and you can see from their vantage point. It's on the third tier. It's very high up. You can look over the stadium. And I think it's really cramped in there. I think as a media representative, it's really, really cramped. You get a tiny desk, you get a seat, and you're overlooking the stadium. It's a fantastic view, but I can imagine NL Clasico, where up to 600 journalists are in that area, it can be extremely difficult to work in. So I think it's good they're improving that and making that easier for the media who come to watch the spectacle that is Barcelona. And of course, it's just the fact that we're just moving on. We're developing our club. There's been a lot of positive reviews in all media across the world. The English media in particular have been really, really excited about these plans. They say it's brilliant. They say it's fantastic. And I think it's a more futuristic stadium. It's something that is something to be proud of. And it's something that in the long run will help us. Now, we talk about the 600 million. The most important thing to note from that is 200 million of it, that was reported a few weeks ago, could be taken up by the renaming of the stadium. And that's what I want to get your opinions on, guys. Should we be renaming the stadium? Or not renaming it as such? I think Camp Nou remain, but it's just whether we get that sponsor in front of it or behind the name. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below whether we should be accepting to have the naming rights to the stadium sold on to create a third of what this will cost. So if we can do that, we get a third of the money. Now, I'm undecided. I mean, I love the history, I love the heritage, but at the end of the day, 200 million from a naming right is a lot of money, but it's going to be interesting what happens. I'm really not sure. I can't go one way or another. So let me know your thoughts down below on what you think about that, because I'm not sure personally, but it's going to start work in the 17 to 18 seasons I mentioned. That'll be probably not this summer, but next summer they'll start the work on it. All the work will take place while the team are not playing, so they will never be affected a game of football, so we'll still be able to play there while they're working on it. They're mostly going to do the work each summer, and for that reason it's going to take a little bit longer. The work is expected to be completed by the 21 to 22 season, so it's still a while off yet. We've still got a lot of time to prepare for the money, and Bartomeu has come out and said that the cost of this will not affect any sporting side transfers or any changes that are needed to the squad. It won't be affected. So let's take his word for that and let's see what happens. But that's basically what the Camp Nou is going to bring. The new Espai Barça is going to be hopefully revolutionising the club, modernising it, and I do think it's something that needs to be done. I think a lot of people will look at this and they'll say it's unnecessary, it's expensive, I don't really see what's being done, but behind the scenes there's a lot of things that need to be doing. It's just about improving the overall experience for somebody coming on a match day. Of course, if it was me, if I was there every single game day, which unfortunately I don't get to be able to, but I would go there every game no matter what. But there are some people who are quite choosy about the games they go to, and whether it's raining or whether they can get food before kick-off, it all matters to them. So it's going to be interesting to see how this does affect things like capacity crowds and things like that. I would hope that it would draw more people in, that we can create a better atmosphere inside the stadium, but we'll have to wait and see about that. But just let me know down below, guys, what your overall thoughts are on the stadium itself and what you think of the plans, and of course let me know about the naming rights and things like that, and let you know also what you thought of this video and the new visuals and stuff like that. So thanks for watching. As always, guys, it's really appreciated all your comments and your thoughts. Hopefully this gives you more of an idea of what we're going to be seeing from the new Camp Nou and Project Espai Barça. Let me know down below your thoughts. I'll see you very, very soon. But until then, as always, Visca el Barça! Barça! Barça!